Hi there, welcome back to the archives. This is Dr. D. Today we are continuing with the Goddess series. So this is the book Goddess, 50 Goddesses, Spirits, and Saints, and Other Female Figures Who Have Shaped Belief. And so Earth Day is tomorrow. Today's April 21st, tomorrow is April 22nd. So in commemorating Earth Day, I wanted to share some of the goddesses of the earth in this book, okay? So I just recorded Papatuanuku over in New Zealand. We're going to move over to Europe, okay? Now we're going over to Europe and we're looking at Mokosh. Mokosh. This is the image for Mokosh. I don't know if you can see it there. Is that it? Yeah. Here's another one. Okay. So this is Mokosh. So we are moving to the Slavic. It says Mokosh is the mother of the earth. She's a Slavic goddess of spinning and fate. So this is page 46. It says, have you ever heard of the 7 great Slavic gods? I have not. Who are the 7 great Slavic gods? I don't know. I personally am not. That's not something I would Google. It says that they were worshipped long ago across Russia and Eastern and Central Europe. So Eastern and Central Europe. So Russia, Eastern and Central Europe. What is that? So like Romania, the former Soviet Unions, Czechoslovakia, Bulgaria. Is that what we're talking about? Are those the Slavic countries? What are some of the other ones? Slovenia, Slovakia, Bratislava. Anyways, I'm trying to think of the geography in that region. So we're in, it says Russia, Eastern and Central Europe, okay? Before people started following the Christian religion, so before Christianity. Again, as I read this, listen to some of the similarities, right? Because when people say that Christianity borrowed from other religions, I think this would be an example of what they mean sometimes, right? So this is before Christianity. Mokosh was a mother goddess. She was one of the only women of the 7 great Slavic gods. Again, who were the 7 great Slavic gods? Great Slavic gods. Let's see who the 7 great Slavic gods are. Okay, so it says Slavic paganism, mythology, gods, creatures, and monsters. So, there's Mokosh. So there's Perun, Velez, Svarog, and Dashbog, Marzana, Yarilo, Vesna, Mokosh, and Devana. Okay? So those are the 7 Slavic gods. So Mokosh is one of them. All of them are men except for her. She's the only woman. And so she represents femininity, protection, good luck, wealth, and a successful future. Her name is connected to moisture, so she is seen as a source of nourishment for all life. It says Mokosh is the earth mother. She brings life through waters, healing those who are in need. Again, remember some of the other water spirits in other places. Mamiwata was in here. Oshun was a river goddess we've talked about. Who were some of the other river water goddesses? And so she is known for giving life, healing those in need. It says there are stories of miracles at her sacred wells. So her sacred wells, apparently the deaf could suddenly hear and the blind could suddenly see. So again, before Jesus was curing, Mokosh in Europe was also curing doing the impossible, right? Making the blind see, thinking about the disability community, because I don't think a lot of disabled folks like this idea of like curing and healing, and but this is what the book says, okay? So she's an ancient goddess who has made the natural world rich and plentiful. So in northern Russia, Mokosh is still honored as a household spirit. She sometimes appears as a very tall woman with extremely long arms and a large head. As an earth goddess, she helps people of the countryside. She nourishes the grass, she feeds the sheep. She even helps the shepherds by shearing the wool of the sheep. It says from this wool she spins wonderful threads that she uses to weave precious garments. This is why she's connected to fate. And so like the string of fortune, Mokosh weaves a pattern, changing the course of the future by literally weaving the stories of people's lives. And so because spinning and weaving are important crafts that are associated with her, she's sometimes shown as a spinning spider. Honoring her with offerings and prayers will keep her on your side until one day at the end of life, like fate itself, she cuts the thread. And so as a mother of earth, she's also associated with spinning and fate. Okay, Mokosh is very protective of her followers. It says they believe that by honoring her, they can learn to travel between worlds in trances and dreams. Again, other cultures also believe in trances and dreams. It says she is known as she who strikes with her wings. And that's because it said that she can fly. She's associated with kindness. And if priestesses need help, they can turn to her for protection, and they can help them to fly between realms. She's also associated with butterflies, is what it says here. A symbol of magical transformation, as well as bees. And so bees are symbols of hard-working priestesses. So sometimes older generations who later transformed to it says sometimes older goddesses were later transformed into Christian saints so that people could hold on to their special memories and traditions. So this is what we're saying when people say like Catholicism, for instance, appropriated paganism. I think this is maybe an example of what they mean. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what this book here says. And so as centuries passed, because of their shared protection of children and the vulnerable, Mokosh was also associated with the Virgin Mary. Okay? She's associated with the Virgin Mary as well as Saint Paraskevi or Saint Friday. And so it says here that on Fridays, women don't work as hard as usual, and they believe that if they swept the floor too heavy on Thursday, it would cast dust onto Mokosh's eyes the next day, which is Friday. So she's an important goddess. You see her embroidered on women's aprons as a sign of protection to those that are wearing it. There's a lot of patterns that are associated with her. And as a loving mother, she makes the fields grow full, the waters flow freely, and she brings healing and comfort to those who need her. So again, this is Mokosh, okay? Slavic Earth Mother. So happy Earth Day. Stop littering, please and thank you. Respect the earth. Until next time, please like, subscribe, and share.